Okay, what's payback period? It's a very easy concept. And this is when you go and do pitches for startups, right? Payback period is one of the concepts that a lot of conservative investors look at, because what they want to know is, when will I get my money back? So when you think of payback period, think of, when will I get my investment back? So let's say that at time zero, there's a $100,000 expenditure. And then at time one, it's you get 50K. At time two, you get 45K. Somehow there's a decrease. Time three, you get 55K. And time four, you get 100K. Right? Now here, the payback period is the amount of time it takes to recover this 100K. So if you're getting 50K and 45K here, by the second period, you get 95K back, right? Yeah. Now the amount that you're getting here is 55K in the third period, right? The third year. Here I need to say I'm getting 55K in 1 year. But how much more money do I need to reach 100K? 5K, right? So what I'll do is simple. 5 divided by 55 is into, so this is 1 by 11th of 1 year. 0.09 years. That's it. How many years does it take? When will I get? So here the time is the key component, right? Yeah, because I mean, even here, if I just highlight this in red, it says payback period. So because of the word period, you know that time is the main component. So how many years will I take in this example? 2 years and 0.09 more to get my money back. Okay. So this 2.09 becomes my payback period. You need to introduce the concept of discounting. So they were like discounted payback period. What is discounted payback period? Same cash flows discounted. Okay, the first period, how much will I discount it by? It's 50K. But I will divide this by 1 plus R, correct? This, how much is that? 45K. This I will discount it by 1 plus R whole square. This 55K, I will discount it by 1 plus R whole cube. Yeah. This 100K, I have to discount it by 1 plus R whole to the power 4. So you will get a longer payback period, right? Amount of time to pay back. So, okay, what is profitability index? This is the easiest. Present value of future cash flows divided by initial cash outflow. This outflow is also called outlay. That means how much money you put in. So this is very easy. If profitability index is greater than 1, or profitability index is less than 1. If it's greater than 1, you accept the project. If it's less than 1, you reject the project. So we'll make a big table of accepting, rejecting criterion, right? Okay. So NPV greater than 0. IRR is greater than the hurdle rate. Last one, profitability index is greater than 1. You accept the project. Then you have payback period. Compare two projects and then decide, right? You can't make a blind call. We'll write the next one. NPV is less than 0. IRR is less than hurdle rate. Profitability index is less than 1. So all these cases, you reject the project. NPV is more important than IRR. Accept, reject decisions. Something called Npv Profile. Okay. Npv Profile is a very interesting idea. What's a profile? What do you think an Npv Profile will be? So an Npv Profile will look like this. Okay. Now NPVs can go from positive to negative, right? Like it can be positive and negative. If it's negative, you reject the project, correct? Okay. So what happens is when you have a particular project, so this is, let's say this is P and L. So this is positive and this is negative. So what happens over here is that and here down the y-axis we have some rate, right? As in when I keep increasing the discount rate, right, what happens to the NPV? That's sort of what your NPV profile is, right? So as in when I keep increasing the interest rate, what will happen to the NPV? Now remember that because this is a discounted cash flow, as rate goes up, as you know, you need more return, cost of capital, right? Remember that you need to make at least the cost of capital. That means when NPV is 0, it means that you're at least able to return the money of the debt holders, shareholders, that much. That's net present value 0 means that at that particular rate, you're able to return. Let's assume that this rate is the cost of capital, correct? This profile will look something like this. That means as and when I keep increasing the rate, the net present value keeps decreasing, which is obvious, right? When the rate increases, the present value decreases, right? When the rate increases, the present value decreases, because remember the cash flow is something like the C0 plus 1 plus R. So if this R goes up, this overall thing will reduce, right? Because if the denominator increases, the overall effect on the ratio is that that particular number will decrease. Not the ratio, the number will decrease. That's exactly what is shown by the NPV profile. Now IRR means, let's say that the rate is equal to the cost of capital. That means I'm able to cover the expenses, correct? Now if the rate is greater than the cost of capital, the internal rate of return is greater than the cost of capital, then you're making a profit, right? Internal rate of return is greater than the cost of capital, and that is giving you a profit. If, let's say, IRR is over here, I'm just drawing a quick schematic. If IRR is over here and this is greater than the cost of capital, in this case, where is the now here is where NPV is 0, right? At any rate below that, NPV is greater, right? That means the cost of capital may be somewhere over here. That means this much part is actually a profitable return, right? Because I'm covering the cost of capital when the NPV is here, right? NPV is, this is profit, right? This extra part, because the IRR is greater than the cost of IRR. Remember, IRR's definition does not change. IRR is the rate of return when net present value is 0, right? So if this is the cost of capital, anything above that, if the rate is higher, the IRR is greater than the cost of capital. That means I'm making a profit, right?
Yeah.
But if IRR is less than the cost of capital, you're losing money. Exactly. Yeah. That's the whole idea. If IRR is less than the cost of capital, you aren't even covering the basics. You can go over this example. Suppose you have two projects. They go like this, right? This is called the crossover rate. That means the rate at which the NPV is equal. I'm overlaying the last layer onto this page. Crossover will be project A, project B. Crossover rate is when two projects actually cross over, right? CF1. I'll just take a 2 or let's take a 3-year project, right? Here, if R is low, very low, let's say R is almost 0, then only the numerator matters, right? As and when you keep increasing the rate, then you're going to, if R increases, then what happens? Both. Now, if numerator and denominator both matter, what did I say? Two important things are cash flow, timing is crucial. Second thing is, NPV assumes that cash flows can be reinvested at the same rate, right? So this is realistic, right? This is realistic. Now, if I consider the IRR case, in the IRR case, the rate is higher rate at which money is reinvested, right? Multiple IRR. What is this? This happens with unconventional, be a no IRR scenario. Same thing, unconventional cash flows. See, example, you're assuming that the zero is going to have minus, let's say, $50 plus 100 divided by 1 plus R, right? What if I come in, like, make this minus 50 by 1 plus R and then keep changing the signs? You might not get zero, right? Yeah. There is a possibility that, see, the project might be profitable, but you might not ever get a zero NPV.